Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit those like buttons, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to the transaction, and it'll help support the channel. Thank you. Divorce wife or break up with girlfriend. I know the title sounds pretty bad, but I'll give some background. Yeah, pretty bad, no shit. I, 30M, am married to my wife, 29M. We've been together for 9 years and married for 5.5 years. I am from the GCC, and she is from the US. We met online and had a 4-year-long distance relationship, after which she moved to my country so that we can get married, which she still holds against me that she moved for me. Our marriage has problems, and I know it will be a one-sided point of view, but I'm not happy. I don't feel appreciated, especially considering and have been working and supporting us for our entire marriage, while she does not want to get a job or study to get her degree. To be fair for her, she has a crazy amount of anxiety and depression which prevents her from doing certain things. This is precipitated by some serious physical and mental CA which haunts her to this day. She gets mad at me for the dumbest things, which are a big deal for her because of her mental issues. We barely mess around, she does not try to seduce me or do things, and when I try, she pushes me away, saying that I should be more romantic, which I admit that I am not the most romantic guy out there. But it's not like I don't do anything. I confidently say I have never said no to her during our entire marriage, and I get her everything she wants. I also feel like I can't go out anywhere because she makes me feel guilty for leaving her at home, and she barely wants to go out herself. We have been trying to get her help for her mental issues, but nothing seems to really help her. One very critical point, which makes me still resent her to this day, even though I told her I forgive, is that because of issues that she had with one of my parents, the parent was also at fault, she basically forced me to cut off my relationship with that parent, even though the issues were not a big deal, and were only a big deal because of her mental issues. For 3 years, I tried to patch things up, and she would refuse. And if I talked to or went to see this parent, she would get all depressed and upset and cry. Because of me cutting off this parent who I loved very much, and has always been nothing but amazing to me despite their own issues, my parent went to a deep spiral depression because of me cutting them off, and spiraled into an amalgam of issues. Too long to mention here. Bottom line is, they died. And I lost the last 3 years of their life with them because of her. When my parents passed, I tried to divorce her out of anger, but I ended up just feeling bad for her and staying. With all of that being said, I recently met someone, 20F, from my own culture, and talking to her has been the most liberating experience that I have had in the last 10 years. She's sweet, she's supportive, she's understanding, she's caring, and she makes me feel like I matter instead of just being there to just be a caretaker. She's beautiful, and she loves me. She makes me feel like a teenager again, and I've developed feelings for her, although she does not know that I am married. In my culture, you can marry anyone fairly quickly if both parties are accepting of it. Even though I wouldn't be able to marry my girlfriend for another 2 or 3 years, I'm finding myself seriously thinking of divorcing my wife and eventually marrying my girlfriend. I feel like I deserve to be happy, and I should be putting myself first for once instead of worrying about her all the time. The problem is that I am seriously concerned that if I leave her, then she will do this bad thing to herself. In addition to this, she has no money of her own, no job, is alone in this country. I am willing to keep supporting her for a reasonable amount of time, though. Anyways, her only option would be to go back to her parents in the US, one of which is very bad. I've said this before, if you don't want to ever be in a cheating situation where you happen to consider cheating on your significant other, it's best to just not get into a relationship. And if somebody is threatening to do that to themselves over breaking up, that is not a good thing whatsoever, and that might be a situation you want to get out because of that. Yeah, my girlfriend, the F-34, does not engage in the butt thing with me. M37, what can I do? Really? You're asking online forums for this stuff? Hello. I'm in a wonderful relationship with a hot girl who is 3 years younger than me. We both enjoyed the life. Every weekend, we dinner in a different place. We made international travels together, survived the pew-pews between bandits and police, and we also share our expenses. We met at the gym, where I go 5 times a week. She does it 3 times. Now we live together in her country, and we are talking about having a child and getting married. Almost everything is perfect, except for one thing. She does not offer me something that I really want from her. I grew up in a country where girls are known for having big badonkadonk. Hence my very first redacted in my childhood happened when a girl, a classmate, leaned on a desk in my classroom. She was using her uniform that included a long skirt and that did not change the feeling. Of course, that as a man with conservative views, I prefer that women have among their legs, and to be honest, I even recognize that redacted is the union of organs of a man and a woman, both starting with a P and a V. The point is that since I fulfilled a girl from the other side for the first time, I had an immense pleasure and tried to do it every time with a girl. I did not have many girls at this time, but most of them were submissive and, not deny me this, but not at all how it's different a situation. The girl I'm dating is a girl that I love and find her good enough to be my wife. We have our differences, but we match in most of our taste. But the most important thing, we can tolerate and deal with our differences. She knows that I like a cherry of a girl, even told me that I am free to do it with another girl as long as she does not know. But honestly, I don't find it right. If I'm going to be her husband, I want to do this with just one girl, my wife, not with a favorite, as some men do. She uses that this is a red flag, and that it's dirty, painful, and it's made for G's. What the frick is a G? Even if I tell her about straight couples that do it and feel pleasure and even do this, I find her a bit obsessed by cleanliness. For example, we never messed with this after the gym. Although many times I wished for her to do this after the gym and even in the gym while we were wet. Yeah, if you haven't caught on already, there's a good chance a lot of this will probably have to be censored. I am quite confused and would like to read advices from men and women from the sub, from another country, to know what you think or would do this issue. For me, it's like, you can have the whole cake, but you can't have the cherry. P.S. Me and my girlfriend are both from different countries. I had this with girls from her country, and they had no problem with being sticked from behind. As a British girl I dated long time ago, she visited my country, and I imagine that a quick view of our girls in the beach made her understand why so many men in my country like that part of the female body. So you mean to tell me that you have this absolutely wonderful relationship, but your biggest gripe with everything is because backdoor stuff they don't want to do. So what you decided to do was to go to an online forum and ask the public for their opinion. No, there is no reason of this that I feel is justifiable whatsoever. God forbid there's something that they might not be up for. This is one of those posts that makes me kind of think, I wonder if this dude reread the title, would they still go through with writing the rest of the thing? And they frickin' did. It's really just coming down to a whole boo frickin' who kind of situation. And then you also got to think, like, well, how is this going to affect your significant other if and when they actually come across this? Because imagine being happy with somebody and then hearing their significant other is considering breaking up because, God forbid, the backdoor stuff. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to leave instead of my parents after they fought about her religion? Oh, so I don't even know how to start this, but I guess there's some important context. I'm 31M, my wife is 29F. We've been married for a little over a year, but together for 5 overall. My parents are super Christian, grew up that way, but I don't really practice. A bit more agnostic, but just kind of going along with whatever to keep my family happy. My wife is Hellenic, and she takes it very seriously. She's got 2 altars in the house, one for Aphrodite in the living room, and the other in her walk-in closet for Dionysus. She does festivals, offerings, all that. It's never been an issue for us. My parents have never really liked it though. Even before they moved in, my mom joked once if we were planning on having gods raise our future children for us, which I admittedly laughed at. And my dad refused to eat bread by my wife that she baked at our Christmas dinner a few years ago, because it didn't have the proper blessings, until I pushed him to, because it came after one of their holiday things. My mom also said that she worried that she was inviting dark spirits in, stuff like that. Anyways, back in April, my dad lost his job, and they couldn't pay rent, and their landlord kicked them out. They had nowhere else to go, and since my sister doesn't have the room, and anyone would take them in lives out of state, so we let them stay with us. It was supposed to be short, but it's been 4 months now. Since they've been there, it's been a bit of a nightmare. My mom accidentally broke one of my wife's offering bowls in the living room, and then said that maybe it's a sign that those things shouldn't be out in public where people can see. My dad has made a couple of comments about praying for her soul, unprovoked. Then my mom actually sprinkled holy water around our bedroom and in my wife's closet where she keeps her Dionysus altar. My wife freaked out about that, but my mom said that she was protecting us and our spirits. My wife's been saying for a while that she feels like she's not welcome in her own house. She's cried about it, and we've fought about it because she says that I don't stick up for her. I get that, but I've done little things, like I've told my parents not to touch her altars. I've made sure they don't rearrange her offerings. I've asked them to leave her room alone. Even quietly told them that they are crossing a line when they make comments. It's not like I do nothing, I just try to do it without lashing out, because if I yell out every time, it would be fighting every day and nothing would get done. She says that's not enough, and I get that too, but I don't think it's fair for her to say that I don't mind sticking up for her at all. So things have been tense between us. In early July, she wanted to celebrate this festival, Aphrodisia, but that morning my parents said that there was an emergency with their storage unit and they needed help because she had a car and I would be able to be at work. She spent the whole day helping and didn't get to do the first day of her celebration and had to cover shifts for her coworkers for the next 2 days. My wife didn't really speak to my parents for a bit after that. So, last night, she decided to finally do it late. She had a couple of friends over and set up in the living room. My parents walked in halfway through, and my mom said that she wasn't comfortable with that sort of thing in the house. And my dad said that he couldn't allow false idol worship under his roof. My wife yelling that it's her house too, and they already ruined it for her once. My dad yelled back that he was dragging me away from God. Her friends were sitting there looking uncomfortable, and so was I. I didn't know what to do. Everyone was screaming, and I panicked and told my wife to leave until things calmed down. She just stopped and looked at me, and then went upstairs, grabbed some of her things, and left with her friends. My parents were kind of relieved after, I finally did something right. But now my wife isn't answering my calls and texts now after I call her a few hours after she left there. And there she said that she was tired of fighting to matter as much as my parents do. I know it's messed up that everything got to this point, but honestly, if she hadn't started yelling like that and dragged her friends into it, maybe it wouldn't have blown up. Am I the a-hole for asking her to leave instead of them? Edit. I can't reply to everyone, but I've read a lot of the comments, and I know I messed up bad. I feel awful and for how I treated my wife, and I get now that telling her to leave her own house instead of standing up to my parents was the worst thing that I could have done, along with the other things that had happened. I'm gonna talk to her and apologize properly. Also, I've been getting some really nasty DMs, including threats of not being alive, which is not okay at all. Alright, so let me see if I get this straight. Your dad loses job, they have to move in with you, and your dad has the audacity, this is my house, my rules, you will not do this, and you two have been living there before they moved in there, and for some reason, you're deciding to side with your parents for some weird reason? Last I checked, like I said before, they moved in to y'all's place. It is not their house. It is not your house, their rules. It is your house, your rules, and both you and your wife are the ones who dictate those rules since it's both of yours houses. If they don't like it, then, they can kind of get their own place since, they're kind of in need of one. Part of me has me thinking that initially it would have been a short thing, but they, for some reason, decided to stay longer since they knew that you were so kind and generous and they took advantage of that. So yeah, I would say your wife is in the right to be upset. And, yeah, I think your parents might need to find a new place. But with that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!